Hello and welcome to No Sevens Dice Club College Football Predictions Week 4 2025. It is flying by. Just how fast we're already on week 4. I mean, it's just insane that I was just thinking the other day how we were, just starting week 1, and what did I do on Saturdays before week 1. It's kind of like, for me, it's always, you know, what happens on Saturdays when there's not college football, and you quickly forget, or I do, on how the time just really doesn't pass, or the other stuff you do, like chores and lawn work and everything else. All right, I'm just trying to prevent me talking about how bad last week was, if you guys haven't noticed. Last week we went 0-4, one of the worst weeks I've had since 2021, I believe. It might have been last year too, but I don't want to think about that. I'm going to say it was 2021. Haven't had an 0-4 week in a long time. Went four wins for the season, 7 losses, and 1 tie. No Sevens has really got to step it up this week. I have to produce some serious results because I have not had a losing month since 2021. So, and we're not going to start that this year. September is always the hardest. Usually by October and November I'm cooking. So just got to get through September, got to win this month. Because last time it was September of 2021 that I had my first losing month, or my last losing month in 2021. Clemson is done. You guys can just rein in on the comments. I told you guys that I had a sneaking suspicion that Clemson was going to lose that game, but I think that's what started my downfall. Me picking Clemson. So Clemson is officially in the blacklist book, and it will no longer be on any more of my picks. Every time I pick Clemson, I lose. I went back and I checked my history over the past 4 years, and yes, every time I pick Clemson, I've lost. So every time I pick against Clemson, I would have won. So just like I did in week 1 against LSU. Georgia wins last second, and Texas A&M wins at Notre Dame. How much of a crazy game was that? Georgia and Tennessee, I mean, that was just another game for the ages. Pulled it out at the end. Texas A&M beating Notre Dame. Notre Dame fumbling on the extra point and loses the game. There was a hold from Texas A&M on the offensive line, but the rest just let that go, and Notre Dame goes down. They're already saying in week 3 that Notre Dame is pretty much already out of the college football race. That their chances are about 10 to 15%. Let that sink in for a second. This is just week 4 we're talking about coming up. In week 3, you're already eliminated from the playoffs. I find that kind of hard to believe, but if you look at who they played and who they've lost to, it's not good for a career resume building. Miami and Miami and Texas A&M, and so they don't have a single win this season. Not good, because they had a bye last week to prepare. And just to give you an idea, that Notre Dame is undefeated when Marcus Freeman, the head coach for Notre Dame, has 12 days or more to prepare for a game. Not anymore. He's not undefeated anymore. So crazy stuff, man. So we'll see how good Texas A&M is. LSU plays them in October at Texas A&M, so that's going to be a hell of a game. And I know I don't have LSU on here, but Garrett Nussmeier, just found out today, Garrett Nussmeier is dealing with an injury to his torso. That's the reason why he's not throwing a lot of balls, a lot of deep balls and everything else. I don't know why he's not sitting out for it and getting healed, especially because we're playing a very small college this week, and we have South Carolina. You would think that either him or the coaches would be like, we're going to start you, you're going to do a couple running plays, you're not throwing a ball, and you're going to sit out the rest of the game. and let the young blood quarterbacks take over the game. That's just my thoughts, but that's the reason why we're not seeing more of Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, more throwing and more offense out of LSU because of Garrett Nussmeier. All right, let's get into week 4 of our picks. So we're going to start out with UAB at Tennessee. Tennessee, I wrote that backwards. Tennessee is not plus 39.5. Tennessee is minus 39.5. If Tennessee was plus 39.5 in this game, I would definitely pick Tennessee without a doubt. UAB is going to score points here. Tennessee is going to come in here. They're going to score a lot of points. It's going to be a crazy high scoring game as far as Tennessee goes. UAB, I think, might be able to cover this. UAB is not going to win this game, especially because Tennessee lost against Georgia. But if you look at UAB, who they played, which is really nobody, but you can see that their offense is moving. UAB tends to, whenever you have a 30-point or more, uh, added on to their points, they usually can hold on to those points and win the game. So I really like UAB. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because we already talked about Tennessee. UAB, I really like them. I like them at UA plus 39.5. If you want to, you can roll this up a half a point and put plus 40, or you can even just take it at plus 39. But I expect UAB to score at least 10 to 14 points in garbage time. And I expect Tennessee to score at least 30 or 40 points in this game. So I like the head start. It's a monster head start. And UAB's always had a pretty good defense. They're going to play in this game. They're not going to just let Tennessee just walk all over them. At least I hope not. And so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take UAB to play tough. And I expect this game, Tennessee to rest their starters in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. And I expect UAB to start scoring points then. So let's go ahead and take UAB plus 39.5. Okay, it is locked in. I'm trying to get my handwriting a little bit better. Maybe that's the reason why we lost last week, was because my handwriting was not so pretty. Okay, next up is Army versus North Texas. They're playing at Army. North Texas is going there. Army has been playing very well. The last game that Army has played was against Kansas State, and that was a very good game. If you noticed, that's where my week 2 Superdog came in. I took Army plus 17, and Army ended up winning the whole entire game. Army's going to play this game really tough. I even want to say this might be the home opener for Army. I can't remember. I don't remember what week 1 was, but Army's coming off of a bye week. And I think that being at a pick'em, if I had to pick what team I think that is going to play the best, is I like Army in this. So not going to spend a lot of time. Let's just take Army for the win. Okay, Army for the win. That's as simple as it does. All right, next up is Ole Miss at Tulane. This game is at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tulane is doing great. I believe it's the quarterback. I'm trying to keep up with Tulane's quarterback. But I believe it's Tulane's quarterback. The starting quarterback is from BYU. He won out the competition. Even coming in the middle of July, he managed. I think he's the starting quarterback. He managed to win the starting quarterback job. Ole Miss, the lane train is just going to keep rolling. Tulane is plus 11.5. I have a feeling this was a great game last year when Ole Miss went down to Yeoman Stadium in New Orleans and played Tulane. It wasn't even close. I mean, it was not close at all. And I don't think it's going to be close again going up to Oxford. But I do like to see them exchanging stadiums, and it's not just one way where Tulane had to go up to Oxford twice. I do like the fact that Ole Miss came down to Yeoman Stadium. But with that being said, I think the lane train is just going to be way too much. I think that you're going to have a lot of offense on Ole Miss's side, and I don't think Tulane's defense is going to be able to stop the lane train. So look for Ole Miss to win. Look for Ole Miss to cover this. And I like Ole Miss, so we're going to take Ole Miss minus 11.5. Okay, next up, Florida at Miami, 6:30 p.m. Florida is plus 7.5. I don't know if you guys watched the LSU Florida game. It was a disaster on both sides because I almost said Tulane. LSU does not have an offense right now because Garrett Nussmeier is hurt. He can't really throw the ball, so LSU's defense had to step it up. The quarterback for Florida, I was getting ready to say his name and I forgot what it was. He was intercepted 5 times. It was one of the worst starts for starting quarterback ratings for a Florida quarterback going back almost 30, 40 years. So 5 interceptions, no offense, a vaulting defense is what they had to face with LSU. And I don't think it's going to get any easier. I think that Miami's defense is the same. Those two defensive edges that Miami has at the edge rush position is going to just make things even more complicated. Miami's got a serious defense, just like LSU. So I don't think Florida's going to catch any break. In fact, Florida has the number one strength of schedule. When you look at who they're playing, I think they're playing 9 top 10 teams this season. The only other team to do that was LSU in 2019, and LSU won them all. Florida's not winning them all. They just lost last week. But I think this is going to be more of the same. If it was me, and I've already done it, I already made my picks, I'm going to take Miami, and I'm going to buy down that half a point. So I'm going to take Miami minus 7. That's who I'm going to take. Look for a huge blowout. Look for Miami to just go ahead and, just pretty much own the state of Florida, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to have the bragging rights. They're going to own all of Florida. So Miami minus 7. All right, so it's locked in. We lost on our week 3 super dog. I don't. My super dog this week is going to be UAB, so that's who my super dog pick is going to be. UAB plus 39.5. I don't expect them to win, but I do expect them to cover, so we'll get 5 points. That's where my super dog pick is. Okay, so this week we lost a person. I know we don't talk politics on here, but we lost a person, Charlie Kirk. As you guys know, everybody knows that he was assassinated a couple days ago. Just keep in mind that it's always good to talk, and it's always, if we don't agree, it's always okay to disagree. It's never okay to ramp up a disagreement to violence. And I'm glad that as everybody on this channel, we can all just come here and have a good time, and just be grateful for what you have in life, because you never know when it's going to be taken. He had everything in front of him. He had his wife, he had his 2 young kids with him, who were at the rally when he was assassinated. Just really sad for his wife and his kids to see that. And like I said, I'm glad that everybody on this community is very respectful. I love being a part of this community with you guys, and I really appreciate everything you guys do. And I always appreciate the love and support you guys give me. So with that, that's all I'm going to say about it. And hope everybody has a good week 4. And we are not going to go to 0-4. The good thing about going 0-4 is that the only way to go from the bottom is to go back up to the top. Isn't that right, guys? So let's go win 4 great victories this week. All right? And no 7s is going to catch you on the flip side.